still me.
Good.
If you haven't already, go watch part 1 before watching this video, or else you'll miss a lot of drama.
Drama?
Yeah. I still have no idea whether Mary V is straight or not, and Mary V still also has no idea. After we end our first date, I thought was a date. Mary V did not know was a date. We texted for a while. There was like some flirting,
I thought we were just like being friends, being friendly to each other.
God.
And but then later on, once the texting, I like talked to people and then I heard Chella liked me.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, okay.
Awful. Anyway, there's another party in Brooklyn, and we're kind of like texting back and forth from our dorms, like, should we go to this, should we go to this? It was about 1 a.m.
Wondering if it like ended yet, or if we should go or meet up. I was talking to my roommate. I don't know, I want to hang out with this person, but I'm nervous. My roommate was like, fuck it, just tell them you want to hang out, and we're all gonna meet up and we're gonna go to karaoke.
So she texts me, and by that point, it was like 3 a.m. because we were both scared to bring up the idea of like actually hanging out face to face. So then we go to Union Square at 3 a.m. I'm waiting there, and then she shows up.
Looking for you. It's like, oh my gosh, there's Chella.
I see Mary V walking up to me with her friends, and I'm like, in my head thinking, number 1, I am very extremely nervous. Number 2, is this girl straight or not? Number 3, I can't fucking sing. I can't even hear myself most of the time. Anyway, so we start walking around to find a karaoke place. You know, her friends are comfortable with each other, so they're just like goofing off, and I'm just like on the side like, this is such a good time, yeah.
Well, we tried going into this karaoke place, but they ID'd us. We didn't have IDs.
Oh, at the time, I was 17 and Mary V was 18. I remember walking out at a club and being like, okay, like I should talk to her, right? You didn't really return the conversation.
Cause I was so nervous.
Well, like I didn't know if I like, would ask you a question and you'd like answer it, but you wouldn't really like.
Because I was nervous. That's when I think that was the peak of realizing that I liked Chella back, and I was like.
Okay, well I just thought you like didn't want to talk to me maybe. We end up heading back to Mary V's dorm, and we go to her friend's dorm room. So let's set the scene here.
Set the scene again.
They are on the bed here, and we are on the bed here. So they're like kind of hanging out and stuff, and like we're kind of hanging out and we're talking. But all of a sudden they start like making out, and
you and me.
Yeah, and we're just like, okay.
And this was when I tried being kind of smooth and being like,
oh my
look,
God.
Chella, I know how to sign the ABCs in sign language. And I remember you touching my hand to like fix a letter or something.
Yeah, just
and I was like, Chella's touching my hand.
Her knees were up, so I moved and I went like this to get closer to her. The roommates are still kissing across the room.
So we're gonna let them have their moment, and we're like,
yeah,
we're gonna figure out what to do. But it was way too late for Chella to like walk back to his dorm. I think I'm thinking back to all those times, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. So I offered Chella to sleep in my room. My roommate was staying.
And when a girl you like offers you to sleep over, you don't say no. So I said, okay. So I'm in this girl's room that I really like. So there's a bed here, just like the other room, and a bed here. So it's just Mary V and I in her room. There's all this beautiful art on the wall, of course, because it's Mary V's room. And I'm kind of like looking at that, and then I don't really know what to do. You can't just really sit on someone's bed that you don't know. Like you have, I felt like I should wait for her to like, I don't know, direct, whatever. Invite me to like sit on the bed or be on the bed instead of just getting on the bed. So I looked over at her and she didn't say anything. She just looked back at me and was like, and I was like,
I remember walking to the bathroom because I said I needed to brush my teeth, and in the bathroom I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was thinking, like, do I invite Chella into my bed? Is that weird? Or do I just be like, oh, there's my roommate's bed, good night? And I went back to the room and I just got in my bed without saying anything, and I think Chella just like got the memo.
Yeah, she didn't.
Just got into my roommate's bed.
So the first night that we spent together, we slept in separate beds.
And oh my gosh.
So I still don't know if she's straight or not.
I remember turning off the lights and then talking to Chella, but when the lights are off and you're far away, Chella can't really hear. I wasn't thinking about that. I tried being like, good night, like, sleep well or something, and Chella was just like, what? And in my mind I was like, oh no, I'm so awkward.
The awkwardness. And then in the morning, I woke up before Mary V, and I remember laying there and being like, oh my god, I am in her room. What? How do I get out? By this time, I was like, okay, that's it. She's straight. Like, that's the verdict, and that's okay, and we can be friends, you know? But how do I get out of the room? Because she's asleep. So I was just laying there, and then I was like, I have to leave. I have to leave. So I get up, and I start putting on my stuff, and she, like, wakes up, and I was like, oh, hey, I got a shoot I have to go to, which was true, actually. I did have a shoot, and I need to go, get to that. So, I'll see you later. Peace. Yeah. And so I leave.
Yeah.
And
I just remember laying there after Chella left. That was painfully awkward. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do. And I got dressed and I went to the caf where my roommate and her friend were. And they say like, oh, like what happened? Like, did you guys kiss? I was just like, no, Chella slept in your bed.
Yeah, and the same exact thing happened when I went back to my dorm. All my friends happened to be in my room, and they asked, and I was like, guys, she's straight. And so I was like, okay, this girl's straight, she didn't say anything to you last night, I think you made her uncomfortable, I'm just gonna give her space. But then, I get a text from you, and you asked me to a movie. Basically, she asked me to Netflix and chill in her dorm room.
Oh my gosh. Well, we were talking, like, our main conversations always were about art, of course. I was telling Chella about performance art, and I just had watched this documentary on Marina Abramovic thing. Chella was like, well, that sounds really interesting, like, you'll have to show me at some time. So I invited Chella to my dorm to watch that movie.
It felt like she was almost asking me on another date, because...
Well, like, I kind of was, but I didn't, like, know, like, how to...
How could I not be so confused? I was so confused. Maybe I'll give this one last shot. This girl is so cute and so sweet, and maybe she's just nervous. I'm gonna make one last move at this and see how she reacts. And that will determine like whether or not she's straight.
So Chella comes like a couple days later, are sitting watching the movie and everything is fine. My roommate isn't there. And we're sitting kind of close because we're watching it on my laptop.
We were probably over an hour into the movie and we were just sitting like this side by side. Exactly like this. It even looks painfully awkward. At that point, sitting there for like an hour, I'm like, okay, fuck it. And I just grab her hand. And she holds it, at least. She doesn't throw up.
Like, no. But in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, we're holding hands. This is cool.
We've had serious relationships in the past and everything, but this was just, this was just so awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. It was.
We're now holding hands, and we finished the movie. She didn't react enough for me to, like, want to make a move to kiss her, because... She didn't,
gosh,
I couldn't tell if she even wanted me to hold her hand. I still did not know if she was straight or not. She just like not reacting. If anything, neutral reactions. Which brings us to our first kiss. And by this time, it was clear now that she liked me. Because before this, we spent the whole day
just like hanging out with our other friends.
Our friends would pull us aside sometimes and tell us, you guys mutually like each other, okay?
Yeah.
It's like established.
Our first kiss. We were again hanging out in a group of friends. We were getting ready to go to a party. So Chella had to go to his dorm to get a jacket or something like that.
I don't even know if I like really needed that jacket or if I just made that excuse. I was like, maybe, do you want to come with me? And so she did. I was standing here now holding my jacket in my room. We were alone. Maybe was in front of me. And she's like, okay, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah, but first. And then I leaned in to kiss her. She goes like, wait. And I'm standing there, and I like, go back, and I'm like, okay. She's just like...
And I don't remember really what I said. I just got my stuff and we just left.
And then we went outside, and she thought she was being sneaky. And she had a friend, and she sat down next to him, and took her phone, and very obviously was like texting out everything that had just happened in the room, and was like showing him like, oh my god, like, what do I do? And it was so obvious.
I think it's just because I liked Chella so much at that point that I don't even know how that kiss would have screwed anything up, but in my mind, in that very second, I thought, this is gonna like get messed up somehow, and I messed it up, but I was just nervous, and I didn't know what to do other than be like, wait!
I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop trying to make moves now and just basically see if she takes the reins here. So we end up in another bed situation at her dorm. Like, we have a group of our friends on the other bed, and then we're kind of like laying down
on like another bed.
At this point, everyone had heard about this like kiss mishap, and they were just like, they just kept pushing us. They were like, just do it.
Yeah, everybody was like asking us to kiss in front of them, and we were like, it was just Chella and I at one point, and everybody was just talking with each other. And I remember laying there, like our faces were looking at each other laying on the bed, and I said to Chella, nobody's looking right now. And I kissed Chella, like really fast, just like
it was just like a flag. And I was just like, oh my god, that was cute. Okay.
In my mind I was like, oh yes, I did it, I did it.
Technically, maybe kissed me first, only after all that shit.
So then again, it was getting late, and I was like, oh, I don't want you to have to walk back, so you can stay in my dorm. And we go up, and this time I'm like, oh, you can sleep in my bed with me.
And I'm like, oh wow, she's actually like making moves now. Whoa.
So I brushed my teeth, and I think you brushed your teeth with your finger.
Well, I didn't have a toothbrush.
I thought it was cute. But then we're laying in bed, and we're listening to music.
Spooky Black.
Yeah, I played Spooky Black. I thought it was cool.
Yes.
Well,
your face
also,
is so red.
I think it's because I'm hot.
Oh, okay.
Because like this sweater is.
Oh my god. Okay.
Really hot. I was always thinking about like what sounded good to your ears and like what type of music would sound good to you, because I obviously didn't want to play music that sounded bad.
I think you asked me if it sounded good, and I said yeah, it has a good beat.
Again, we were laying in my bed looking at each other like this, and we were holding hands like this, and and we were just like looking at each other.
Remember how I told myself I wasn't gonna make the first move anymore? If she was gonna kiss me, she had to kiss me. I was stubborn. So Mary B has this thing, whenever she wants someone to kiss her, she'll lean in like this, but then she'll just wait, and the other person would typically just end up kissing you.
It didn't work! I leaned in all the way, and Chella didn't kiss me back. And I was shocked. So
I was done.
I remember just like grabbing Chella's head and just kissing him.
That was the first time that Mary B took control, and I was like, whoa, that's hot. That was our first time actually kissing, like a real kiss.
Yeah. So now we were like pretty comfortable with each other, but it just kept being that, and I was really confused. I was starting to get confused again. Also, I didn't want to get my feelings hurt by not figuring out what we were. I remember thinking about it a lot and talking to my friends and being like, how should I bring this up? How do you have like the talk?
Yeah, and I wasn't actually thinking about any of that. I was just kind of going with the flow, what our relationship.
Okay, so this is another reason why. So Chella's friend from Pennsylvania had come up to New York. At one point, he asked both of us, so are you guys official or anything? And Chella didn't hear him, and I was just standing there. I was like, Then that's another reason why I was thinking about it a lot, because I was like, people are wondering too, and I'm wondering a lot too. This was October 11th, 2016.
October 11th, 2016.
National Coming Out Day.
That's true.
There's a Snapchat filter on for that day, and I Snapchatted you that morning and was like, thanks, or something like that.
Oh yeah, because like by then she realized she was queer.
Yeah, very queer. Cool.
So we were laying in my bed. We do this thing where one of us asks the other, like, what are you thinking? And no matter what you're thinking, you have to say whatever it is. I could tell Mary B was thinking about something, so I asked. Instantly, her face gets really red, and she just starts, like, she does this really cute thing that when she's nervous, like, she'll just start babbling, and she'll just, like, not really say what she wants to say, but it'll just be, like, a bunch of stuff. And so that was the first time it ever happened. And it was really cute.
Like, all the thoughts in my head just coming out.
It's so cute.
And finally I got to the point.
She was like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. So, like, should we, like, not hook up with other people? Or, like, I don't want you to, like, what?
So then I was like, what are we? Do you want me to be your girlfriend? Or do you want me to, like, I don't know. Yeah. And I was also saying, like, if you want to be with other people, like, I don't know if this will, like, work between us. Because I really like Chella. And I, like, the thought of him being with other people at that point was just, I didn't like that. And I just wanted to just be with him.
So I was like, oh, like, I had no idea that she had even been thinking about this. And I wasn't really thinking about it because I wasn't thinking about other people. I just really liked her too. I didn't really know we needed to clarify that. So I was just like taken aback and I was like, oh, well, like, do you want to be with other people? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, me too. I think I was like, do you want to be exclusive? And she was like, okay, yeah. So we were official, yeah.
Yeah.
She was my girlfriend, and at the time I was her girlfriend. We were girlfriends.
We were girlfriends. I was your first girlfriend, and you were mine.
Looking back, that was a horrible, awkward,
painfully awkward,
cringe-worthy story.
Yeah, but now you're the person I'm in love with, and that's... looking back on all that stuff again, what can we take from this story? If you see someone that's cute, feel like you want to get to know them, just go for it.
No matter what they look like stereotypically,
yeah,
give it a shot.
And
if I didn't give it a shot, we wouldn't be here right now.
If you're someone that is confused about your sexuality, if you're with someone and if they like you and care for you and everything, they'll be patient with you for you to figure out your confusion.
I'm not a patient person, but for you, you know, I was pretty patient. Which is like really rare. I really liked you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And now we're both 19 years old, living together in a cute little apartment in Brooklyn. Where has the time gone?
I don't know. We're like old people now.
Yeah, I know. You even look like a mom. Thank you for watching our incredibly bumpy journey.
Part 2. We did it.